Starve or freeze to death.
End of freedom.
Warning, the end of the world is near.
Things will get worse before they get better.
Will this nightmare ever end?
Are you tired of being bombarded with negative news? News stories today follow the motto, if it bleeds, it leads. Journalists report in a negative, threatening, and sensational manner to draw the attention of viewers. Evolution has wired our brains to be more aroused and attentive to potentially harmful events than to neutral or positive events. This is called negativity bias.
But also, why did we evolve this way?
Excellent question, Lucie. Human survival is increased when the brain is sensitive to threats, thus initiating a fight or flight response as quickly as possible. This happens in and around the amygdala, where fear is located in the brain.
Mainstream news has capitalized on this phenomenon to maximize viewership.
What does that mean for society?
The negatively biased news can make viewers feel less emotionally stable and even induce long-lasting post-traumatic stress disorder.
It can also raise suicide rates. Negative reporting about the economic crisis in 2007, for example, led to more than 10,000 extra suicides.
That's so crazy. It is no surprise that 84% of people perceive the news to be depressing. Yet, it may be beginning to backfire. Many people nowadays tend to avoid negatively biased news. They self-protect themselves from this media, but then of course lack exposure to any news and current topics, thus creating a desire for an alternative form of news. A constructive news, that is.
So, what is your thought on the news of today?
The news! Ugh! 2017 dawns the beginning of a shift towards constructive news. But what exactly is that, Lucie?
It's about drawing an accurate image of the world rather than a destructive image, balancing the report of positive and negative events. An overarching positive demeanor prevails in order to promote flourishing and an open mind for viewers.
Wow, Lucie, this sounds like viewers will develop psychological resilience towards destructive events happening in the world, all the while creating meaningfulness and hope for humanity.
That's right, Awesome.
Will I be bogged down with simple, heartwarming stories, aw-shuck moments, and even adorable animals? Even though I love adorable animals.
Action.
It's not about being super duper positive. In fact, constructive journalism doesn't want to get rid of all the negative events happening in the world. But when reported, it's about not leaving the viewer bombarded with threatening content, but with providing a future outline with solutions to issues. This will ultimately leave the viewer with greater intentions to act and perceived ability to make a difference.
So if our animal brains used to react greater to negative events, will constructive news help our brains adapt to current society?
Precisely, dear Austin. Helping our poor little amygdala finally have a break from all its overactivation. Rather than exploiting our evolutionary neurobiology, we are improving it.
That sounds great! To test the effects of these two new types, we designed an experiment. By gathering students from the University of Amsterdam, a comparison is made between the effects of negatively biased and constructive news on viewers when watching a segment on the Dutch refugee situation. The Netherlands are being flooded with refugees, creating anxiety and fear for the Dutch. Most refugees depend on humanitarian aid to survive, but the Netherlands are struggling to raise the money needed to provide this relief.
These refugees are helping to preserve and grow the title of Amsterdam being an international mecca, cultural diversity and opportunities for new experience among the long-time Dutch locals paints our cities in vibrant new colors.
These effects were measured through participants' intuitive, rapid selection of images signaling engaged or avoidant emotions, and pessimistic or optimistic realities in reference to the refugees. Then they were given brownies.
Overall, people who watched the negatively biased news fragments tended to choose the pessimistic images of refugee reality, while people who watched the constructive journalism news fragment tended to choose the optimistic images.
Yeah, I enjoyed the news report a lot because I think it was informative on the one hand, but also giving hope to the people who see it.
Results were mixed for images signaling engaged or avoidant emotions. This could be from individual bias towards the images, and future research will improve ways to measure these variables.
Imagine that constructive news would be everywhere, engaging viewers, creating opportunities for society to value non-violent responses to conflict, helping to cure growing anxiety and depression epidemics, and increasing goal-based behavior towards societal issues, reinstilling hope and prosperous view of the future.
We made it!
After many hours of laughter, night shifts, and midnight snacks, it's a wrap.
Blah blah blah.
Thank you for watching BCiS News.